Single prize decks are back in style with the release of Chilling Reign, and today we're going to be talking about an old favorite that got some upgrades with Chilling Reign. Hey everybody, Nick from 9Card TCG, and today we are going to be looking at another single prize deck. Recently we looked at the single prize baby single strike Urshifu, and today we're going to be covering Decidueye with the Deep Forest Camel ability, and also with the new Inteleon from Chilling Reign. So let's get right into the deck list. Decidueye with the Deep Forest Camel ability prevents it from taking damage from any Pokemon V or GX, and that does include tag teams and VMAXs. It has the Splitting Arrow attack. For 1 grass on a colorless, it does 90 damage, but it also does 20 damage to any of your opponent's benched Pokemon, which is pretty nice. You know, it's easy to take out things like a Houndour. If you're playing single strike, it's easy to take out an opponent's Sobble, something that you are likely to see these days. So it's a pretty good attack. In addition to that, we also have Inteleon with the Quick Shooting ability, which allows you to put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Now, there's a difference between doing 20 damage, like Decidueye does with Splitting Arrow, and placing 2 damage counters like Quick Shooting does. Quick Shooting and placing damage counters are not protected by Mew's bench barrier ability. So if you have Decidueye in the active and you're like, oh, I can't do 20 damage to my opponent's bench Pokemon because of Mew, well, you can still place 2 damage counters on that Mew with Quick Shooting. So Inteleon is a really good way to deal with something like bench barrier Mew, or just some other things that you need to put damage counters on. We are also running a copy of the Shady Dealings Inteleon in case we need to be able to find a Rare Candy and something else to get another Decidueye ready to go. Drizzile also has the Shady Dealings ability to help us find those Evolution Incense Communications or Rare Candy, just the things we need to help get Decidueye out onto the field. The rest of the deck is pretty standard and simple. We're running copies of Telescopic Sight to do a little bit more damage to our opponent's benched V and GX Pokemon, but likely if they are bench locked and they have only benched Vs and GXs or whatever, well then they're probably just going to lose unless they can deck you out somehow, so it just becomes a stall game at that point. Capture Energy to help us get our Sobbles and Rowlets out onto the field. My dog is trying to get into the closet, so hey, Jerry, stop that. Little, consistency cards like Energy Spinner, Evolution Incense, Ordinary Rod to get any Sobbles, Decidueyes, whatever, back into our decks in case they get knocked out. Pokémon Communication, Quick Ball, Rare Candy, obviously, all things to just help us find the Pokemon we might need to help us find a little bit of energy. We are running Path to the Peak to stop our opponent in the early game from using things like Intrepid Sword or whatever, so it'll kind of help us shut down our opponent in the early game. After we get a Decidueye set, we might not need Turffield Stadium, but it is always a good thing to have to try to set up a second Decidueye. Bruno, because we are going to get knocked out from time to time and we want to be able to draw a bunch of cards, and that's pretty much the deck. There's really not too much to it, so let's get right into the gameplay. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, and if you really want to help the channel grow, you can leave a like and hit that, you can leave a comment and hit the like button so that more people see this video. The more likes and comments we get, the more likely YouTube is to recommend this video to other people. So here we go, we're starting with a Rowlet, which isn't bad. I'd like to see a draw support of some kind. I mean, I don't have any basics, so they can use Mawwile's Captivating Link ability to look and put any basic Pokemon from my hand onto the bench. This is really useful for when your opponent has something like a Crobat or a Dedenne, and then you can put it onto the bench during your turn, and your opponent won't be able to use the ability from those Pokemon, so you kind of limit what they can do. And let's see, we're playing ADP with a Kricketune. That's interesting. I don't think I've seen that before. There's the Crobat. And the Zacian, so they'll finish their turn with Intrepid Sword. So we have the Decidueye. But I think what we need to do is get rid of this Dartrix and get another Rowlet. And we'll just pass. Because now, even if they boss up the other Rowlet that has the energy, at least they won't be able to... I can still get the Decidueye next turn, as long as they don't Marnie. Marnie would be pretty bad, because we have the Rare Candy in the Decidueye. So I would not like to see that. Now, do they have any metal energies in the discard pile? They don't. So they're going to transfer one over so that they can retreat, most likely. Which is interesting. Unless they are going to attach a water energy and use AC. So they're going to discard their hand to look for 2 trainer cards. Do they have to reveal them? Yes, they do. So they're probably going to look for an energy search or energy spinner so they can get that water energy. And then probably a research for next turn is my guess. They're bench locked at the moment, so it's not like they can look for a quick ball or something like that. Even if they did look for a quick ball, they don't have a second card to discard if they go with energy search, so it doesn't really matter. My guess is it's going to be an energy spinner of some kind and a research. Another, okay. Interesting choice. There's the energy spinner like I expected. Okay, they're going to go for the AC. Cool. So, we are going to... Let's quick ball. We don't have another energy. So I'm gonna get this and put it into my hand. But I'm not gonna play it. I'm just gonna pass. And they will likely take the knockout on my Rowlet, and that's fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to put damage with Decidueye onto this Oranguru in case they decide that they want to promote it to try to attack, even though there's 0 energy on it, and I don't know how many energy switches they're going to be willing to use. Now they're not going to be able to boss because they used Peony. Even if they did boss, they still won't be able to put any damage on my Decidueye. So what I really need is a research or a Marnie or a switch or even an energy just so I can attach and retreat, and I'll be in pretty good business. Research is obviously the best option, right? It'll let me see the most number of cards. But in terms of actual gameplay, like once I get this Decidueye onto the field, I could in theory just keep passing and they'll deck out before me. So once I get this Decidueye, they're gonna escape rope. Okay. So they're gonna search for an energy spinner so they can get another water energy. So they're gonna go for Ultimate Ray. Okay, sure. And now they are gonna power up probably this Oranguru, which is fine because I will do 90. Yeah, that's fine. And I guess I'll just put it on to this. So they can knock me out in 2 turns. It's very unfortunate that they had the Oranguru so early, and that also they were able to... I wasn't able to get one more turn with damage counters. We'll get rid of that. We'll get another Rowlet onto the field. We'll drop the Snorlax, and we will... retreat. I think that's the best call, and we'll just Gourmandize. And we'll force them to boss, I guess. So we'll be able to get another Decidueye next turn. With the communication, we can communicate the Inteleon, get a Decidueye, evolve the Rowlet, attach a Capture Energy, and yeah. So we're not doing too hot. Again, it's the off chance that they had the Oranguru and they had it at the beginning of the game, and I happen to not get an energy. They're gonna give me another Rowlet, which is fine. So I guess we'll just see what they do. They're going to retreat so they can go for the knockout. They'll take 2 prizes off it, which is really where we're in trouble. Like, Decidueye does not beat ADP that gets a turn 2 Alter Creation, because our 1 prize Pokemon take 2 prizes, so they only have to knock out 3. And this is where you have to be exceedingly careful. I mean, it doesn't matter. No matter what, we are going to lose. If they, yeah, it doesn't matter. And yeah, so far, not doing super good. I think that was just poor luck. It's part of the game, though. You know, sometimes your opponent just draws really well. Sometimes you don't draw well. It's just how it goes. If you want to learn how to play the Pokemon trading card game just a little bit better, especially if you're a new player, I do have a brand new Discord with the links in the video description, so go ahead and join it. It's a pretty cool space. We do want to go first. And let's see, can we get... Okay, we have a Rowlet start. We have a Communication and a Rare Candy. We also have an Evolution Incense. So, I think we're okay. What are we playing against? Galarian Zapdos, so we are going to immediately... And we'll just attach. And I don't want to play the Evolution Incense, because I don't want to give them the impression that I can... that I can get my Decidueye next turn, even though I can. I don't want them to know that. And if I show the Decidueye in my hand, I feel like they might be a little more inclined to Marnie. Whereas if I just energy and pass, they might not. Okay, so they're going to go for research. Do they have Marnie in hand? I don't think they did. So they didn't have the Marnie, which is fine. That was our only path to the peak, which is a little unfortunate, but we'll be able to Marnie. Next turn, we will have Decidueye. They can't Marnie anymore. And we can just chill. Again, it's tough when you're playing bench Pokemon. There's so many ways to get bench Pokemon out onto the field. Things like Great Catchers, things like Boss's Orders, Escape Ropes. There's ways to get these Pokemon into the active spot before you get to evolve them, and then they can take the knockout. So this looks like another ADP deck, ADP Birds, so we'll see. It could just be a Zacian V with Zapdos, I guess, but it runs a Dark Energy, so this might be ADP with the birds. So we are going to Evolution Incense. We'll get our Decidueye. We'll Rare Candy. And then we're just going to Marnie. Try to get a second energy, start attacking. We do have a second energy. I think we are going to go capture. We'll save the grass energy. And let's go Sobble. And we will... Do I have an energy in my discard? I don't. So I can't... I mean, I could discard a card with Viridian, but there's no real point. I'm going to not Quick Ball. I'm just gonna attack. If they pull up the Sobble and they take the KO, I mean, fine. They're not going to be able to do it with Zapdos, not for 4 energy. And we don't play any Pokemon V, so its ability does not kick in. So, Galarian Zapdos, its ability, it uses, or it takes 1 less colorless fighting energy for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon V in play. So, in theory, if your opponent has 3 benched Pokemon V, you could be hitting for 170 damage for just a single fighting energy, which is really, really cool. They discarded the boss's orders, which is interesting. They might have an Eldegoss or a Mewtwo to get it back. They are going to go for the Mawile and expecting, you know, some basic Pokemon that I might not have played yet. It is ADP, by the way, so I was correct. ADP Birds. So let's see what they do. I'm not going to put any more bench Pokemon. If I can get a Drizzile, like an Evolution Incense or a Pokecom, I will definitely do that. And I'll get a Drizzile. So there's both their birds. They're going to get another Metal Energy onto Zacian. Who knows, they could Energy Switch Retreat AC. That would be kind of annoying. But we'll just hang on. And now, okay, so they are switching. And they'll finish with Intrepid Sword. Oh, okay. So they don't have the AC yet. What do we draw? We draw another Grass Energy. They already played the Mawile, so I feel pretty safe getting a Rowlet. But I'm not going to play it just yet. I'm just going to Splitting Arrow, and we'll continue to chip away. Especially at that Galarian Zapdos. Right? I mean, it only has, what, 200 HP? 200 HP, so if it's got switched, if we pull a boss, we will be able to take the knockout on that, which is pretty nice. And this deck is very much just chill. Just ride it out, see what you get. If you can get Inteleons onto the field and start pinging, it's pretty cool. I'm going to spend less effort trying to get the Inteleons. Because of Altered Creation, if they boss it up, they are going to be taking 2 prizes. Versus if they just took 1, where 1 wouldn't be that big of a deal. But doing 20 damage with the risk of losing 2 prizes just isn't worth it. I'd rather stall and let them deal with it like that. It's not a very exciting gameplay. It's not an exciting deck. It is very much counter meta. That's what we're doing. I have no reason to bench this Sobble, the Rowlet, so I'm not going to. Until I draw something that would get me close to another Decidueye, just not worth it. Do they have like an Oranguru or something else that could be a problem? They have a Heatmore. Oh my goodness. So this is one of the problems with Decidueye, is that people are specifically teching against it. So this Heatmore does 70 damage. It's going to do 140. They have to have the boss in order to power it up with Ultimate Ray. Because then they can attack into the Sobble. Does Ultimate Ray give you... oh, okay. It doesn't even matter. So there's the boss. So they're going to be able to take 2 prizes. And, oh yeah, plus this is going to actually do 100 damage. Plus the weakness of... So it's going to do 140. It's going to do 200 damage. So we are in a lot of trouble. I guess now we have no choice but to throw down that Rowlet. I guess. I mean, we don't even have another Rowlet to go with. So I'm not even gonna... Yeah, this is so unfortunate. And of course the math works out so that we don't even get to 3-tap something like ADP with 280 damage or 280 HP. So it's really unfortunate you're going to have to 4-tap anything with 280 or higher. I mean, and we haven't drawn a single supporter, draw support, Marnie, anything. So like we're just living off top decks. I do not know what is happening, like why we are not drawing anything that we could really be using. It's pretty unfortunate. Why did they power up the Moltres though? Why did they do that? That had to have been a mistake. I mean, at least now we have another Rowlet if we need. We got a research finally, and a grass energy. Okay, we have a lot of grass energy this game. What is that? 5 energies? That's like half the energies we're running. I mean, I guess we've seen 36 cards. That's about right mathematically. So maybe we got to cut down the number of energies. They're gonna boss up my other Rowlet. Man, if we could draw a boss, that would just be amazing. This thing is weak to grass. Of course, we don't have Telescopic Sight. So we can't even take the knockout. We could have won if we had Telescopic Sight, because it will do 30 extra damage to a Pokemon V. That would put us at 50. Plus, we do 180. It'd be close to winning. So, unfortunately, there's just nothing we can do because of that Heat Ward. They're just gonna retreat into it and attack us and win. Or they have the switch. I don't care if they have to discard energies, it does not matter. So if you're wondering why Decidueye is doing so poorly, it's partially because I might have built this deck poorly, and it's also because there was a tournament where Decidueye had done really well, and all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, we have to deal with Decidueye. So now everyone has a Decidueye like tech or counter in their deck, and so you're kind of stuck. And with Boss's Order and ADP and all that kind of stuff, like it's so hard to play Decidueye at the moment. Can it work? Absolutely, but man, it's tough. Another Zacian. Cool, 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 cool. Is this just like ADP day? Did I not get some type of memo that everyone has to play ADP today? Like, so help me God, if this really is ADP. This is what happens when you put something like ADP on the verse ladder. I do not think it should be there. It's such a broken card. It's so powerful that there's no reason to give it to... I mean, I get it. If you give it to everyone, is it as powerful? The answer is still yes. The answer is very much yes. So we can... Communication... We'll get rid of the... We'll grab a Rowlet. We have prized one of our Rowlets. We'll attach an energy. I think we'll save the supporter for next turn. We'll just Gourmandize, see how it goes. There's a Telescopic Sight that could have helped us out last game. Not too much, I guess. I guess we still would have lost, but still. There's a Boss's Order that definitely would have helped us. If we had a Boss and Telescopic Sight, we could have won. But, you know, sometimes it's just asking too much. Anyway, can't dwell too much on what has already happened. We gotta focus on what's in front of us, and that's something that is important if you're going to be competing in tournaments. You can't be thinking about the last game too much, or what happened, or what should have happened, or whatever. Hi. We kind of have no choice here. Alright, either this list is trash, or you just can't play Decidueye anymore. If they have another boss, I mean they didn't AC yet, but if they have another boss to get this Rowlet up, I'm gonna be so upset. I don't even know what to do. It's just Decidueye, I guess, against ADP is just too difficult. They run 4 copies of Boss's Orders, occasionally things like Escape Ropes, Great Catchers, Mewtwo, or Eldegoss to get those Boss's Orders back, and they're just gonna pull up your Rowlets or your whatever before you have a chance to evolve them into Decidueyes, take the knockout, and if they were lucky enough to go turn 2 AC, especially if they go first, well then there's just nothing you can do, and you have to really just hope that you have a bunch of Rowlets on the field so that one of them can become a Decidueye. But oh man, this was not a fun day. This was normally Decidueye is fairly enjoyable. It's a pretty good budget deck, but with all the ADPs running around and with Decidueye's recent success, every deck is just having something to counter the Decidueye, whether it's a basic Pokemon or something like Phoebe, which lets you ignore Pokemon abilities when attacking with your VMAX. So, I mean, it's just so hard to play at the moment. So I don't know if I could recommend Decidueye unless you are really, really committed to going off meta or counter meta or something like that, and are prepared to take these ADP losses. Anyway, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found this a little bit entertaining. Even if you didn't find it super informative, at least maybe you found me getting just crushed a little bit entertaining, and I can, you know, whatever. It is what it is at this point. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.